Hey everyone, how's it going? Welcome back to another Walking Dead video. So in this one here, I want to talk about Dead City and something that Kim Coates actually said about the character that he's playing, who is going to be the main villain this season. And I also want to talk about the release date for Dead City Season 2, because I think we have the release date now, and I think we know roughly when we're likely going to get the release date for Dead City Season 2. So yeah, before we go any further, make sure to be a subscriber if you do want to get all my Walking Dead content like this. I'll be doing my Q&A video very soon, so if you do want to take part in that, definitely go and join the Discord. The server name is Appetite for the Dead. The link for that should be in the description of this video. Yeah, there's a Q&A channel there. Just post your questions in there, and I'll get to that in the next couple of days. I'm not sure if that'll be tomorrow or the next day, but yeah, and also for those who posted questions, thank you as always. But let's get into this thing right here in terms of what Kim Coates actually has to say about the villain Bruegel, and then we'll talk about the release date here, because Dark Winds just announced the release date for the third season, and I was wondering when the show is going to come out, because there's a couple of shows that we know are coming out later on this year. And there was a window there around March up to I guess the summer, where I was like, well, Dead City is going to be premiering at some point around here. And now that we know when Dark Winds is going to be premiering, I think we know when Dead City will be also premiering. So yeah, I'll get into that right after this. But I got this here in an article from Screen Rant. And I'm not entirely sure where they did the interview originally. Maybe it was with Screen Rant. I'll leave a link down below if you do want to check out the whole article here. But what he says here, I guess, in terms of who he's playing, because he's playing a character named Bruegel, who is going to be the main villain of this season. And he says, Eli Journe, the showrunner, picked me and said, you have to play this guy. And I said, send me some of the scripts. And they did. I gotta tell you, this guy was written for me. He's just a bad person. He's super smart. He's a billionaire. He lived in this incredible enclave during the zombie apocalypse in Manhattan, and when he came out, zombies were running Manhattan. He got his own little gang together. There's 3 or 4 gangs in season 2, and Bruegel is my name, and I'm certainly the biggest gang member of my squad. I kill a lot of zombies, and so that's really interesting, because obviously, what we've known of the character so far is that he would be playing a bigger role. This season, he was going to be the main villain, which was a little interesting, because the Dama and the Croat, they kind of seemed like they were the main villains, right? But it seems like, no, that's not the case at all. Bruegel is the one that seems to be sort of running everything, or maybe, there's, the Dama could be, scared of this happening, and so she needs somebody like Negan, I guess, to help her defeat Bruegel, and so I'm really interested in how a lot of this plays out in terms of, I guess how this war could sort of happen here, because that is something that they've talked about quite a bit, is that there's going to be this war that happens. And also the thing about it too is there's going to be a bunch of stuff happening here. So when you're looking at what he says here, he says that there's 3 or 4 gangs in season 2. So I imagine there's the Croat, the Dama, and Negan. I imagine that's one, right? And then there's Bruegel, which I imagine he has again, they said that he was in this enclave, and he was basically, I'm guessing, in a bunker basically the entire time, right? And he was just super rich. Beforehand, he was literally a billionaire. That's insane to have a character like that in the world here. So, he comes out of this bunker after a while and sees that there's walkers everywhere, and is probably wondering what's going on, right? And so obviously at this point, I imagine he's probably running Manhattan. And then I guess there's 2 other groups, right? And so we got to wonder more about, those groups. Could Dwight and Sherry be a part of one of those groups? Maybe we don't learn anything about that in season 2, but maybe there's more to it, right? I could see how you could sort of connect a lot of that going into season 3. And what's really interesting about this, though, is, when you really look at it overall, it seems like there's going to be this whole, I guess, battle for resources, or again, I don't know what the issue is going to be in Manhattan. I know they want to take over Manhattan, and obviously we saw in the trailer that the power went on in Manhattan, right? So that's absolutely insane. Whatever is happening here, it's going to be a big story here, but you got to remember, there's New Babylon and there's the bricks. So that is something entirely separate from a lot of this here, right? There's going to be all this stuff happening in New York City. New Babylon, they're trying to find Negan, and I mean, at the end of season 1, I guess they learned that he died, right? Because I'm pretty sure that's what the marshal said, but obviously that was a lie. So how does that play a role in all of this here? And then there's Maggie at the bricks, and some of the stuff that Herschel's going to be going through. There's going to be this whole overall, all the characters are going to be coming together here, and I really can't wait to see how this is all going to build this season, because again, it's 8 episodes. That's a really, honestly, incredible amount of episodes because of the last, I guess, couple of years here, because there's been a lot of seasons that have just been 6 episodes, which obviously is not a lot. And I do see the complaints. I know I complain about it a lot, but I do see a lot of the complaints from a lot of people saying that they're not fans of that. They want more episodes. And so I just think for Dead City Season 2, this is honestly going to be really, really exciting here. 8 episodes to explain a lot of this. And for Bruegel, like, I really do have a lot of excitement for this character because Kim Coates is obviously really amazing in a lot of the roles that he's been in. And so just picturing how, he is with a lot of his roles, like, is that going to be what this character is? And especially the way he's describing the character here. Like, he's saying that this character is a really bad person and he's super smart. So, like, he's already a really fascinating character. And I think, for somebody like Negan and for Maggie to actually come across this person, I really wonder overall, like, what this is gonna do just for the story. Like, he might be one of the best villains that we've had in a very long time. Like, I really do mean that. I think that he could be up there, and I'm excited for this season. I can't wait to see where it's going to go here. But I also want to talk about the release date here and potentially when this could be happening here. So I saw that they announced the premiere date for Dark Winds, which is March 9th, right? And so if it's coming out March 9th and it does have 8 episodes, then Dark Winds' finale, the season 3 finale, will be happening on April 27th. And so that would mean that, Dead City's most likely not going to be airing in March or April. Because I think if it was airing in March or April, first of all, Dark Winds is a very big show. Like, it actually really is. If you look at the ratings for the show, it's honestly a really successful show. A lot of people watch it, and I've watched it. It's a really, honestly, I haven't finished season 2, but I watched all of season 1, and I think I started season 2, and it's just honestly a really, really great show. They're not going to be airing The Walking Dead Dead City, I guess every single Sunday at the same exact time, basically, right? Like, we don't know the time here. So maybe it's airing like right after Dead City or something like that, but I don't think so. Like, this is a pretty big show. It's going to be airing, I would say, on its own, right? And so I think that right after this on May 4th, or maybe they take a week off there and it's like May 11th or something, but around there, so like early May, I think is when Dead City is going to be premiering, which means that they should announce the release date in the next month. There might be a new teaser and stuff, and I really expect a lot of promotion, a lot of stuff to really start picking up in like a month from now, because usually it's like 3 months beforehand, I would say, and then the official trailer comes out, at least based off of the recent seasons here, it's usually like a month and a half before that. So say it's coming out like right in the beginning of May, we're probably going to get an official trailer for The Walking Dead Dead City around like the middle of March, I would say. And so we do got to wait a little bit for that, but they usually do promote stuff before that. They'll release teasers here and there and all of that. So it'll probably be a month before that. So that's what I mean. And like a month from now, I think we'll probably get a lot more information. I think we'll get the confirmation of the release date, very, very soon, and some new teasers, this and that. But to me, I think that's totally fine, because the thing about it, like, I know people are going to complain about that because it's too long of a wait in between seasons of The Walking Dead or just anything Walking Dead, which I definitely understand. It does sort of ruin a lot of the excitement because you want to watch a lot more, like, you really do. And the fact that it's only 6 episodes, like, you're waiting all this time to finally watch the show. You watch it and then it's over right away and you're just like, wait, what? And then you gotta wait a really long time again, and it just kind of ruins the excitement a little bit. I don't want to say like you don't care, because obviously like you do care, like you're still watching, but it's just one of those things that they do need to sort of realize. I feel like that there needs to be more Walking Dead, and if you only want to stick with 2 shows and not do another spinoff, then maybe just do more episodes, right? Like 8 episodes I think is really good, because that's very similar to The Walking Dead before. Like, ignoring all the spinoffs that have happened in the last however many years, The Walking Dead originally did 8 episodes in the fall, 8 episodes in the winter or spring. So it would basically be the same thing, like, in terms of that, which I think a lot of people would be totally fine with. And so this year, though, it seems like it's going to be that way. So say it does air, like Dead City Season 2 airs in the very, very beginning of May, right? That would mean that, 8 weeks from then would basically mean that the very last episode would be airing on June 22nd, most likely, like the 22nd of June or the 29th of June, which basically lines up with their spring release date, I think. And then after that, we have to wait 3 months only until The Walking Dead Daryl Dixon, right? And remember, there's going to be Comic-Con in between that as well. So there'll be a lot of stuff to talk about, like from May. And also there's going to be like a trailer release beforehand, a lot of promotion starting in March. So really, we're going to have a lot of stuff to talk about starting in March all the way to like November, right? And so to me, that's really awesome. I mean, obviously right now it's kind of unfortunate because we got to wait a little bit longer, but once the trailer comes out, most likely in March, and then if the show does come out at like very early May, like, there will be a lot of stuff to sort of talk about, a lot of the excitement there for a very long time. Once the show ends, at the very end of June, in July, we have Comic-Con. There could be a lot of announcements there. A lot of excitement there. They'll probably release a trailer for Daryl Dixon Season 3. And then that'll probably come out when? September again? Because the last 2 seasons have come out in September. They're not going to push that off. They even said that was 2025. So they're not pushing it off until October and November. AMC also has a lot of other shows that are coming out like at the very end of this year. So I think it makes sense that that's probably what they're going to do here. So we're going to have a lot of shows and whatnot. So, you know, The Walking Dead Daryl Dixon will probably air in September, go until like very early November, right? And yeah, I mean, to me, I guess that makes a lot of sense. And because Comic-Con's going to be really exciting this year. Like last year, there wasn't really a lot to talk about because, I mean, they just finished The Ones Who Live, and I feel like everything was sort of in a weird place. But last year, like in October, I think, Gimple was talking about, you know, a new project he was working on. There's been some sort of rumors, or there might be a teaser regarding, you know, a potential future project with Andrew Lincoln or Rick Grimes. We'll have to see where that goes. I don't even know if that's true or not, but there's some interesting stuff out there. I'll just say that. And so, you know, we could get some sort of announcement at Comic-Con. Like, again, it's going to be really exciting. I know that the wait here is going to be a little frustrating, but we also have The Last of Us Season 2, right? So I'm definitely really excited for when these shows actually do come out. And again, I do think that Dead City Season 2 is likely going to be coming out in like early March. And so this way they're not entirely avoiding The Last of Us, because The Last of Us is coming out in April. I'm expecting The Last of Us to probably air like what? Like say it's mid-April, so like April 13th. The finale, there's 7 episodes. The finale would air like May 25th or something like that. So it would be like a couple of episodes would overlap, if anything, but you know, there's not going to really be an issue there. And if anything, that's probably really good. Like this way, you probably have a lot more people who want to watch more zombie shows and stuff, you know, after watching The Last of Us Season 2. Maybe they start watching The Walking Dead Dead City Season 2, right? They're both airing at the same time, roughly. So I think it makes sense. And I do think that, yeah, Dead City is likely going to be coming out, you know, in early May, but I could also see it coming out like late April potentially if they do want to like, you know, have a Dark Winds finale airing at the same time as The Walking Dead Dead City Season 2's premiere, because sometimes they have done that in the past, right? So that's sort of when I'm expecting it to come out now. It's going to be in about 3.5 months from now. The way I see it is usually we have to wait that long, but it's just we've also been waiting 3 months now, right? So basically the wait that we've just done since Daryl Dixon Season 3 is finished, we basically have to do that again. But there will be more stuff to talk about. We'll get trailers and all of that, and they'll be promoting it quite a bit. So yeah, but anyways, I'm going to leave it here. Definitely post all your thoughts down below. Hope you all enjoyed the video, and I'll see you in the next one.